Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our broadcast of the 2018 Kansas City Youth Lacrosse League All-Star Game. We are coming to you live from UMKC Durwood Stadium. Kevin Schulmeister with Dan Rogenhofer with you for this game. We're just getting started here. Everybody's getting introduced here in the stadium. Dan, you've been coaching in the league for a while, and you played in your high school and youth career, correct?
Yes.
How did you feel about at this age, whenever 7th, 8th grade? How much were you getting into really the dynamics of the deep into the game?
Well, actually, it was really interesting. My first year ever playing lacrosse was 8th grade, and the way we did it in St. Louis was that we didn't have a middle school program, but 8th graders were allowed to play with the high school program on the JV and freshman level. So even as an 8th grader, I got to play against high school sophomores and juniors at the junior varsity level as a first-year experienced player. It definitely forced me to grow fast. It made me realize how important it was to go out and hit the wall, develop stick skills, strong hand and offhand. But really, a lot of my development was more in high school, and I learned a lot more in college than I did at the high school level. So.
I've seen that a lot with kids playing up, that they don't have they either don't have a program set up that can handle enough to have the youth level split out. So I can definitely see, I've played that before playing up. You get knocked down a lot, you get a lot of goals scored on you, you get these awesome plays made around you, and you can't get it, and then all of a sudden it just starts clicking, and you're playing at that level.
The biggest thing is lacrosse IQ, along with hand and eye coordination with the stick skills. It's a smart person's game. There's a lot of different formations and rotations that offense can throw at you, and the plays and concepts are always changing every second. Where are you relative to where the ball is? Are you the person right next to the person with the ball? Are you on the backside? Are you helping in? Are you pressing out? Are you the first slide? Are you the second slide? And yeah, your first year, you just really focus on your one-man assignment, but you're not necessarily playing correct help ball defense on with team defense and sliding concepts. And you really just need to get the repetition. Now that the youth game is providing more opportunities, you're starting to see just middle school leagues. These kids are coming in as high school freshmen knowing a lot more about the game than I did back when I played about 8 years ago. I was a senior in high school. So.
Well, and this is the 7th year of Lacrosse Association of Kansas City. That's whenever we really got a lot of our teams in the league started. They started around that 2012 time. So by now they are actually starting to pick up. They're starting to get those middle schoolers that were just entering in the 6th, 7th grade level. They're starting to get up to the varsity matches. So you see a lot of these teams there that weren't as competitive before, they were competitive now.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to the parents that are stepping up and coaching at that level. A lot of those coaches are just moms and dads that are volunteering their own time, not getting paid, learning about the game as well, not having played the game. And I definitely can say firsthand coaching at as we do have a goal there by the white team. Nice little dish from the wing. The guy came in cutting from the middle. And there's good awareness there. But as I was saying before, over at Lee Summit, I was fortunate to get a freshman LSM who played a ton of varsity time and, hung in there. Definitely could play with a lot of the more talented teams because of his development at the youth level.
Right. So for our viewers, our game has started here. We are running two 20-minute halves, and it will be a running clock, so the clock will not stop except for extreme circumstances, which we hope we do not have anything in this game. This is the All-Star game, so you should be seeing the best of the players around Kansas City. We do have White up 1-0 within the first minute of our game.
We'd just like to let all our parents and families and fans know back at home that as far as knowing which player is who, they show up and they get jerseys, so we're not really going to know the players by their names. We're sorry about that, but we're going to try our best to still give you guys a great experience watching this back at home. With Blue's got the ball here, number 18 is going to go ahead and dish it down to the wing at 15. He's going to sweep across the middle, creating the ball in his right hand. He gets through some defenders, shoots and scores. Great effort squeezing in through the defense, handling the ball through some pressure. Was able to reset his hands up in triple threat and get the shot off.
So each of these teams, we had our coaches from around the league. They selected a few of their players that went beyond just their training sessions, beyond their practices, continued to put time and effort into training to become better at their sport, as well as showed great sportsmanship on the field to become an all-star. So, and some of these names, as we do have some names that we can read out to you. Unfortunately, we can't match them up with the numbers since those were just handed out. But some of these names we're seeing now here, 2019, 20, 21, somewhere we might be saying them again here at the LAKC championship game.
Oh, hands down. I mean, when it comes to when we talk about Freeze or Brandmeyer, you got to know that these guys definitely started playing at a younger age. It definitely helps getting the stick in the hand at an earlier age and taking time outside of practice, hitting the wall, playing in other select leagues. All those game time reps helps develop lacrosse IQ and lacrosse skill.
As we're looking at the rosters here, we have a few players from the Blue Valley team. I'm actually looking at 9 of them here from Blue Valley, a lot from Pembroke, some Brookside, Northland, the United Lacs from Lee Summit, Olathe, and Lawrence. So
goal there by the White. Nice left-hand ripper. Sorry to interrupt you there.
You're good.
Always got to, he might be a left-handed player, but if not, you have to acknowledge a good offhand shot. But I definitely want to assume that guy is left-handed.
So another acknowledgement that we need to make, something special about this game. Our officials for this game are actually high school players that they have shown that they know the rules of the game to the point where they can stand by, be unbiased in this case, and call the game as they see it fits to the rules.
Well, Kevin, as you can see right there, there's a familiar face. I believe that's Jack Mahoney, who was up with us Thursday night for the second game, and he did a really good job demonstrating knowledge of the players on the field since he did play with them in select teams, select leagues. And as a coach who's just finished up his second year coaching in the LAKC League, it was a huge help having Mahoney know these guys and help me with their names during the play-by-play.
And Jack will be up for the LAKC game here, championship game, that we are looking to get it started at 6:15 p.m. Central. Hopefully our weather stays with us. Right now we have a overcast, but no precipitation, and we want it to stay that way.
Yeah, the sun's behind the clouds. You got a nice cool breeze. I definitely don't want to see a high heat game, especially when we talk about this turf field. It's going to be way hotter down there. We're comfortable up here in the booth,
yeah.
But we don't want to see these kids get tired. We want to see them push to the top of their limits so we can see some great lacrosse today. White team's got the ball, passing it around the perimeter on the far side of the field if you're watching from the TV. We're going to get a dodge here. Defense is sunk in. Good body check. Gets the ball loose. Now we got to scramble for the ground ball. Few players on the ground. And the play is going to blow dead.
So a few years ago, whenever I was watching this game, we are still watching the best of the best, but we were seeing a lot of mispasses or miscues in that place where the teams really aren't ready for it. And part of that is because some of these players have never played with each other. They've played against each other on each of these teams. But there's also they weren't really developed with those skills. At this level by now, because they, like we were talking, they've been around. Our coaching here in the Metro has stepped their game up to the point where they know exactly what to do every practice to make sure that their players are ready. And we're really not seeing too many drop balls.
Well, definitely the best of the best. When your teammates have good stick skills as well and they're throwing these passes right within the box, which is if you draw a square or rectangle right to the side of the head above the shoulder, that's ideally where you want to receive the pass, so you can bring your top hand back to your shoulder, cradling the pass in softly. And when your teammates are throwing good passes, you can see these guys can catch and shoot. A lot of times when you spread the talent out and these guys are coming and playing with their teams, they're not always receiving clean passes or feeds when they're trying to set up their shots. So obviously everyone here has decent stick skills, and the passes and the catching is executed at a higher level because of that. Feed right here down low. Great defense by the pole there, keeping them at bay. Ball's over on the left wing from the goalie. Feeds it inside, picked up by Blue again. Nice little sweeper move as he switches to his left hand, tries to, but the defense collapse in. Good job. Transition opportunity for White. Midfielder is pushing up the field. Number 1 on Blue, showing some wheels, try to get a trail check in there. As we got another scrum. And Kevin, you're talking about the stick skills, but on the other side, if I'm going to play a little devil's advocate, you're going to have some great defenders as well. These kids are going to have to catch and throw the ball under duress. And it's one thing to be able to catch and throw a ball in practice or in a line drill or partner passing drill. It's another thing trying to catch the ball as you're moving at a speed while a defender is making contact with your hands or body. So you definitely are going to see the ball on the ground a bit here. These kids are still young. They're still going to develop. But for their age level, these kids are playing extremely well. Look at that shot. That's a pretty far shot. Nice little rip and bounce, fundamental.
About 5 feet into the box.
Yeah.
So through at least two defensemen.
Now, and I was impressed seeing those in the games that we had Thursday night, but to see a 7th or 8th grader do that, that was definitely impressive. Good job, kid.
Now, as I'm looking through some of these names, some of them look familiar, including Mahoney. So Jack might have his brother from Blue Valley, Charlie Mahoney, down there playing. So how much does the big brother, little brother, or big sibling, little sibling go into that?
I can tell you a lot, because it seems when you watch it at the college level that you have a series of brothers and cousins, whether it's the Thompson trio from Albany. I can throw a little history at you. The high school I went to, we had a series of brothers known as the Shanks. Both the oldest Shank brother and the youngest Shank brother at one point had the Missouri record for most goals in one game with 9. You also have the Callahan brothers that have been heavily influenced at Parkway Central and Missouri State University, both as players and coaches. And if your older brother plays lacrosse, he's going to tell you to play lacrosse. I had an older brother that played lacrosse, and he told me when I got into 8th grade, you're playing lacrosse with us. So it's definitely a sibling-like sport where the family all gets involved, and you do get to see a lot of families make their mark on the game with multiple brothers or cousins all playing at a high level.
Well, and you even, in that regard, you get 3 or 4 of them going with the goal for the white team there. They'll take a 3-2 lead. We got just under 10 minutes remaining in the first half. With family members, I mean, you get 3 or 4 of your family members or friends that live close to you. You go pick up a goal and set it up in the backyard, play a little 2v2.
Some of the best lacrosse is just when the weather starts to get nice. You can finally just get outside and toss around a bit. Just get sticks and gloves in the backyard, get some fresh air. Get off the game system.
Yeah. There's a new lacrosse video game. It's like, that's great and all that we're getting the sport's growing to the point that we got a video game, but we still need to get out there and stay active, stay playing the game. That's
I'm a physical education teacher. I'm definitely not going to disagree with you on that one. As we have a goal right there from the white team.
The blue team.
Blue team. And I'll tell you that face-off guy from the blue team's doing a good job. The guy there in the maroonish helmet with looks like a yellow or gold accent there. But here he is. He's coming on the field. Number 2 here. He's got some wheels, and he's won a few face-offs. My apologies about that. So right now the score is 3-3. We are on a running clock. Just under 8.5 minutes to go. No timeouts. And it's been very even. as he wins another face-off. And let's see if he's got those wheels. Looks like he might slow it down.
We'll be starting at 6 p.m., not 6:15.
And he's definitely staying on the field. He's definitely not a Fogo face-off guy only. As 14 looks for a dodge and pulls it back out. Ball's back at X now. Passes it to the right wing. Defenders and Graveson skip past to 25, and now we got the ball at the top left corner with number 2. I'm calling out ball position relative to the, as if I'm looking from the goalie's perspective. Ball's down low, left by KCYLL, carried around X, thrown to the right wing. Defenders engage, almost having an L hold. He gives up top side. Shot and goal. Hockey-style shot from number 15. Nice little roll there. Makes it look like he's going left. Defender bites on it, gives up top side, allowing the roll back with a free-handed right-handed shot. As you can see, fundamental lacrosse bounce shots.
Right.
Definitely, coaches definitely will not argue with those.
Well, and this game, this is a fun game, obviously, because we don't actually have true teams here. We just split them up evenly amongst the blue and the white teams. So now this kind of game is the game where these kids can come and try to do something cool. They don't have to. They still want to try to win, obviously, but
I believe we're going to see a lot of competitive offensive lacrosse. I don't think we're going to see a lot of body checks to bring guys down to the ground. I don't necessarily want to say NFL Pro Bowl, but definitely a little bit of sense of, hey, we're all very skilled. Let's respect each other. We want to be able to compete against each other next season.
Right. Well, and even they're separated by about 10 yards over on the sideline. Once this game is done, they're all going to get together. I wouldn't be surprised.
Number 15 with a rocket too. Sorry about that.
You're good. It's the quickest game on 2 feet. Stuff changes like that. We got to be ready for it.
You know, we were talking about the lacrosse IQ, and when I first started playing in 8th grade, that was the most difficult thing, how fast the ball moves and how fast your assignment changes over and over and over again. Shot from way up at the top of the box. Goalie gets the save. White team starts their clear. Throws the ball downfield. And the ball's on the ground. Turnover as the blue team picks up. Spin move by number 21 as he spins again. Finds an open outlet. Picked back up by blue. Shot and goal. Number 11 with a nice little shot fake. Gets the goalie going low and then dumps it back over the top of his torso. That's one of those tricks you were talking about there.
Right.
I did see a behind the back shot too, I believe, earlier in the first quarter. Nothing wrong with a little BTB. Blue team is now leading 5-3.
So from our public address announcer, Jay Coleman, here in the stadium, that was Drew Barker from Blue Valley that made that goal for the blue team.
Well, you know, Jack Mahoney did say earlier the Blue Valley program's coming a long way. And it looks like, as you can see here, that it's going to be that way for a while, having some great youth players coming up from this game.
They did have 9 All-Stars here, 5 on the blue team, 4 on the white team.
Mike McKenna's going to get a great bunch of young freshmen over the next few years to come play for him. And these players should be looking forward to being coached by him. He's a great coach. Blue team coming through, walking through. Shot and wide left.
Shot by number 21,
These guys aren't going to let him walk through. But like I said, the kid could have got hit a lot harder, and you're definitely seeing not as aggressive as body defense. It is an all-star game. Ball's going to start at the back right position of the field as we get it to right wing here. Number 15, guy has a rocket of a shot, passes it off to number 10. You got a little pick there. 16 looking for the roll opportunity as the ball gets passed to the left wing. Takes a few steps in, decides to pull it back out.
I did want to clarify this. These are all 8th graders.
Oh, they're all 8th graders.
Yes.
Wow, so yeah, Blue Valley is going to have a bunch of great talent freshmen. Number 11 receives the feed down low, takes a shot and
top
goal.
Left corner.
Bounce shot. That does make it to the top left corner.
That was Drew Barker again from Blue Valley.
Well, McKenna, if you're watching, you're probably smiling right now, aren't you?
Okay, so we are just a little under 3 minutes remaining in the first half here. The blue team is leading 6-3.
Blue team, Brookside.
Well, and they're also winning a lot of face-offs. This number 2 here has done a great job.
He won another one.
And the kid, it looks like he's got some speed too. Right now, they're just slowing it down, but if you watched earlier in the game, he had some wheels. Ball's back left. He's approaching X as he passes it down to the bottom right portion of the screen. Now on right wing with number 25. Really good job with perimeter passes. The blue team's maintaining ball possession. Shot. Wide left, but picked up by the X attacker. Dumped back low. Spin move
Off
the post. Are they going to say he's in the crease? Jack Mahoney with the call.
Violation, white ball.
Good. I definitely want to see this white team get a possession here. Let's highlight some of these other kids. Need to get a touch in the box. And does so.
Yeah.
And he cranks it. Deflected off a player and sails out of bounds. White ball. Well, that looked pretty eager. You know, it's funny. When you have young kids, they really do just want to get a goal. Nice face dodge, but he got tripped up.
We'll have a flag thrown.
I believe that'll be tripping. I don't believe it was intentional, but, heck, that was a great face dodge by that player to force that tripping penalty.
Yep. It will be tripping on the blue team, so white is man up.
You have some 6-on-5 here. Another face dodge.
And we have another flag.
Another flag.
And a shot and a goal from the right wing. Nice ripper. Well, back within 2 goals as our first half winds down. We do have a running clock. Right now, White's down by 2 goals as Blue's winning 6-4. But White had a great response there in their last possession, making this a close game. Another face-off won by number 2 of the blue team. Struggles to handle it, but then gets it back. Boxers release. Great ride by number 1, the attackman, trying to challenge him. But Blue keeps the possession. And that's the end of the first half. LAKC fans, stay tuned as we got one more half of our middle school all-star game. The blue team is winning 6-4 over white. We'll be right back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Kevin Schulmeister, Dan Rogenhofer with you. We're at UMKC Durwood Stadium for the KCYLL All-Star Game. We are just about to begin the second half of this game. We're closely watching the weather here. It's starting to get a little dark, but hopefully it'll stay away for a while.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a earlier start time for our championship game between the Shawnee Mission East Lancers and Pembroke Hill Raiders. Start time will be 6 o'clock. We're anticipating some light rain, but I believe that the thunderstorms will be further south of us, and I fully anticipate that we will get this championship game off tonight. But the weather conditions may get a little wet, but definitely playable, in my opinion. Right now, the LSM number 20 rips a shot, left hand, and goal. What a rip. He just kept rolling and switching hands, and eventually he did a nice wide-angle left-handed shot, and it got in. Now we got to score 6-5 with 14.5 minutes left in the second half. Here we are at the face-off. Blues have been doing a great job at the face-off today. But this time the white team will come up with the ground ball. Good body there by number 12, allowing his teammate to have the space to pick up the ground balls. The white team will start passing the ball around the perimeter here. Off-ball pick. Number 1 comes off of it very well, but defense was close enough to make a play. Ball is loose. Multiple players after it. Gets kicked once. Blue team picks it up. The pole's coming up the field. Rolls back. Holding it one-handed. Dishes a pass to his goalie. Goalie's now walking it up. Looks downfield. Finds a short stick. Number 16. Blue team might need to think about hurrying up and getting a touch on the box. Dishes a pass. Good find. As number 15's dangling left-handed. Looks it. Rolls to the right. Right-hand shot wide right, but a very impressive job getting the shot off. Blue team chases the ball out of bounds and will take it. Number 14 passes the ball off. 11 rolling the cage from X. Turns, shoots, and goal. Top cheddar. And a little bit of a little bow and arrow celebration there by number 1. They don't? I was just notified by the that our all-star rules is that they don't have to get the ball in the box. So it looks like that either team will have more time to transition the ball from one side of the field to the other.
Just a game note here for the second half. We are only running 15 minutes instead of the full 20 due to the impending weather. The league, LAKC, would like to get the championship match started at 6 o'clock, and our pregame show for that will start at 5:40 here on our YouTube channel.
Number 14 has the ball at the left wing, passes it up to number 2. Fake pass. Tries to go towards the goal, runs into a double team, loses the ball. Picked up by the white team. Got a stoppage in play.
May have a slight cramp going on there.
Well, number 2 has been doing a lot of transition for his team at the face-off and bringing the ball upfield, so looks like he'll be all right. He's limping off the field right now.
That happens. It
happens
to all of us.
Yeah, that's youth sports for you. It happens. Cramping happens a lot to me in men's league since I'm definitely washed up now.
You can't ever drink enough water, and you never get enough warm-up time to get everything stretched.
Or just Possibly being a little bit younger, huh?
Will that as well.
Shot and goal. Oh,
No, it'll go a little right.
Ah,
And White will keep the ball.
a little premature there by me. Rolling around the X, the trail check misses. Shot.
To the left.
Ball's live, picked up by number 23, the long pole. Cradling in his left hand, going upfield. Runs into a double team, picked up by White. Nice little spin move, holding the ball in his right hand. Dishes it off. White team penetrating, runs, shot, and goal. Especially after being contacted by that defender to get his hands loose and get enough velocity on the shot to get it past the goalkeeper.
So Marshall Moore with the White team. He's from Northland.
Yeah, Northland, they had the number 4 seed this year in the LAKC tournament, and I was very impressed by their athletes when we coached against them this season. I heard it was a close game with them in Rockhurst, but I was predicting that they were going to be in the Final Four this year.
They did They during the first round they were playing the number 13 seed Shawnee Mission Patriots. They won that game 17-3.
And the loose ball as it pops up in the air. Blue loses sight of it, so the White team picks it up. Number 2 bringing the ball to the other side of the field. Pass off to the right wing. He looks, passes it off again. Lift check by the defender holding his person at bay. Number 1 now has the ball on the right wing. He skips the pass up to top center. Driving in left-handed, looking for a shot. Dishes it one more time as the double team comes. Ball's back up on the right wing. Face dodge by number 1. Shot and low and off to the right. Good patience by the White team. Few extra passes. Almost got a goal out of it. Ball starting back left. Passed up to the left wing. Here comes a dodge. Driving left-handed, pops it back out. Ball's on the ground. It's live. Picked up by White. Pulling it back out. Drew the double team. Smart decision to pass the ball off. Number 9 just passed it to the top left corner. Number 8's looking for a decision to make here. Dodge, pass, or cradle. He's going to cradle on in, draws a double team, looks left-handed, bounce, and the ball just went over the top pipe. Number 6 chases the ball and will help the White team retain their possession.
So we were talking about stick skills earlier. One of the big stick skills that the coaches try to emphasize as much as possible is use both hands.
Oh,
because
definitely.
you get dominant on one, and then if you start focusing on that one too much, that you try to use your non-dominant hand, and it like doesn't.
Well, it
so
cuts the field in
foreign to you.
half.
Right.
It cuts the field in half, and a lot of in youth lacrosse, you hear the defensive coaches tell you to cut off their right hand, force them to the right side of the field to where they will have the stick in their left hand, knowing that if a player only is playing with one hand, that there's a certain side of the field that they can't even carry the ball to. When you can use both hands, and once the defender cuts off that half of the field and they give you your left hand and you're confident in that left hand or non-dominant hand, you go ahead and take it and you run towards the goal. Ball's at the top right. Number 8 picks it up off the aired reception. He now carries the ball to the top center of the field. Is dodging in, looking, got the ball in his left hand. That's the switch that we're talking about, shot and goal. To further explain that to you all, number 8 came in with the ball in his right hand, pushes defender to the right. As the defender gave up room to that player's left, he was able to roll back to his left hand, and his hands were free in order to shoot for the goal. So that goal right there was the perfect definition of why you want to develop both hands as a young lacrosse player.
So that was Reed McDowell. He's from Blue Valley.
Blue Valley definitely getting their spot out here, getting their shots out early here in the game.
Blue 8, White 6.
Number 2 with another face-off win.
Blue, number 2, Jared Smith.
Jared Smith. Ball's passed to the left wing, but 15 picks it up after it bounces. Jared Smith plays for United Lacrosse, and he plays from the Brookside program. As he receives the ball right there, shoots a little bit wide left.
Shot by Jared Smith.
Now, each of the coaches in the KCYL league only had a certain number of spots that they could fill. So there are probably kids on these teams that either just missed the cut or just joined and are looking to get to this point. What at their level? Let's say these are all 8th graders, but let's say those starting in at the 5th, 6th, 7th grade level. What's some of the characteristics that you see out of these players that you don't usually see whenever they're just starting out?
Well, just a commitment to the game outside of practice. Any youth coach, as we get a goal there by the blue team, any youth coach will tell you that when you want to have a very successful season with a high winning percentage, the preparation is put in during the off season. How often are you hitting the wall? How often are you running on your own? At the 5th and 6th grade level, you know, you're not necessarily doing any strength training, but you can definitely start lifting in 8th grade, freshman year. We talked a little bit about that during the high school semifinal games, how big of a difference having good weight room ethic can develop you physically in this game. But most serious lacrosse players that are very successful understand that they're going to spend time on their weekends and late evenings hitting the wall, playing catch with a friend, practicing shots, and practicing their condition and strength. There's only so much time in practice that you can develop those traits, and when you're in practice, you're really developing skills and team skills, not as much the fundamental skills or the strength skills.
Well, and even on the topic of the traits and skills, some of these, I've known this from my experience. You have fun with your friends, and that's great. You're getting exercise, fresh air, vitamin K if you're out in the sun. But you're also you want to make sure that you're not developing any sort of bad habits, because you're having fun, you're out there. But there was a little bobble pass there outside the box that I can't help but think, as Blue scores a goal here, I can't help to think that might have been a something that he was just playing around in the driveway at one point and just bobbling it. And did that actually cause something to go on in the game where he may have developed a bad habit or muscle memory there?
Well, you know, whether you're out there practicing seriously or not seriously, it still all helps. It's just the rate of how it does help. I think if you young kids are looking for something, Paul Rabel's got a lot of great YouTube videos out there. And he knows what it's like to be at a young age and not have a lot of the money to get that training equipment. One of the videos I was very impressed that I saw was where he used a bunch of bundled up newspaper, wadded up in balls, and made a cage against the net. And you would think you're outside, you're just relaxing, but he's practicing hitting top corners, knocking the bundled up newspaper out the fencing.
Right.
And that really helps with your hand-eye coordination.
Right.
As the blue long pole is transitioning down the field, we'll see if this guy's going to get a shot off. 23 still approaching the cage, holds the ball in the right hand. Trail check by number 18 as the ball is loose, but 15 with a great ground ball pickup. Sweep move as number 18 checks it out his stick. Blue picks the ball up at top center. Number 16 now has the ball at the top left as he's coming in towards the center. Looks for a dodge, switches to his right hand, drives in, shot and goal.
Goal by Blue, number 16, Grayson Kerwin.
Okay, so we had Grayson Kerwin
2 minutes remaining. Blue 11.
just scored that goal. Earlier in the half, I did mark down we had also Will Eccles with Brookside. He scored a goal as well. As we get below 2 minutes here, I do want to re-recognize our officials for this game. They are high school players, one of which is Jack Mahoney, which he'll be joining you, Dan, here on our championship broadcast here coming up at 5:40. How, from what you're viewing, how are their calls? Are they calling it close to what a official from our Great Plains?
I'm pretty happy with the calls, and here's mainly why. It's really hard to officiate intent, but I can just tell by the demeanor of the players that nothing's really ill or like ill-meant or overly aggressive. Not a whole bunch of body checks, and let's also let's put in perspective. We have a big game after this. We do have some pending weather conditions. And as a referee, when you're trying to run this whole organization today, you do have to consider, do I really try to pull this call or do we get through this game because we have another game to get through today? When they've had to make a call, they've made the call when absolutely necessary. But, yeah, they're letting a few things go today. Just because, one, the players aren't really being super aggressive about it, and two, this is an all-star game. Let's have a little bit of fun today.
Well, and we've only seen maybe 2-3 flags.
Yeah,
the entire game,
and I've only seen about two. I've only seen 2 kids fall to the ground, maybe 3.
Right.
So as a referee, when the players understand the culture of this game, then you really don't have as much work to do as an official.
Right. All right, well, we're coming to the end of our game here, and that'll be it. Blue will win it 11-7 against the white team. We definitely, these players that have just joined here, every single player here is well deserving of the title All-Star.
Oh, definitely. Definitely wanted to say shout out to all you 8th graders. Y'all did a great job today, and a few of you guys definitely opened my eyes with some of your shots and how fast they were and skills and some great dodges as well. Definitely a bright future for the LA-KC Lacrosse League with you guys involved. So keep at it with the work. Keep working hard and looking forward to coaching against you or coaching with you next year.
All right. Well, this game is going to clear away very quickly. We actually have our players for the LAKC championship game. They are walking down the hill right now from the locker room. They're going to start warming up. This has been fun to watch our future LAKC players. And we will be back here very shortly at probably 5:35 actually, 5:35 for our pregame show for the championship match. Stick around, watch that. We have the number 1 seed, Pembroke Hill, playing against the number 2 seed, Shawnee Mission East Lancers. They are this is going to be a rematch of the first ever championship back in 2012. Shawnee Mission East took that one, and it should be a very good match.
Oh, yeah, and both these teams did play May 2nd, and Shawnee Mission East won that game 11-10. So looking to a very competitive game tonight. Kevin Schulmeister, Daniel Rogenhofer signing on out. We'll be back for the pregame show in about 15 to 20 minutes.